So, if I could go back and sit down with younger me, these are the things that I would say. Hello, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Emily, and this channel is for the girls. I really want this to be like a space that I wish I had when I was younger. So, this is a place for figuring life out, figuring out friendships, relationships, health, healing, growing up, all of it. Life in your 20s, everything that I wish I had when I was younger. I absolutely do not have everything figured out, not even close, but I've learned a lot through messing up and living my life messy. So I'm here to share my experiences with you so you don't have to mess up the way that I did. Just kind of thought that some of my experiences might be helpful for someone else. So I'm here to share them with you. So if you need a big sister, a best friend, or you just want to feel a little less alone because this world can be very lonely, then you're in the right spot. So let's buckle up. Because today I want to talk about some of the things that I wish I knew when I was a teenager. I was just thinking the other day about how much time and energy I've wasted worrying, and I mean like worrying, all consuming anxiety, pit in your stomach, can't think about anything else, over things that just quite literally did not matter at all. And I don't think I'm the only one, at least I hope not. I spent so many years, and honestly still struggle with this, thinking that my body was something that I needed to fix before I could be seen. And I mean that like quite literally, like before I could like hang out with my friends, or before I could go to these parties and go to these hangouts and these events, that I needed to be this certain size, the skin needed to be clear, I needed to not have any breakouts. I struggled really bad in high school with like warts on my hands from playing volleyball. So I was super self-conscious about that growing up. My stretch marks, like I didn't want to wear anything that could show anything on my arms or show anything on my legs that might let my stretch marks come through or be seen, because I was so concerned about what everyone else was going to think about it, especially over what I was actually enjoying myself. I was more concerned about what do they think or how is this going to be perceived, instead of am I enjoying this? Do I want to be doing this? That kind of thing. And honestly, I can't tell you a time that I can remember where I wasn't thinking about my body like that. And when I say that this like started really early for me, I mean like by third grade, I was thinking about this kind of thing. I was thinking about how I looked in my school uniform, or how other people saw me, or if I was going to be like the fat girl, the bigger girl, that kind of thing. It made me act different in friend groups. It made me act different when I was with family. I like carried this burden and this shame and this guilt for how I looked, when that's not what I should have been focused on at all. I should have been focused on enjoying the moment with my friends and family and making memories and living my life, not how I was or how I was looking. I think I also, from a very early age, struggled with comparing myself. It's really hard not to do, especially with social media being so prominent. I would compare myself to other people and cry and be so upset, and honestly still struggle with this, with why can't I just look like her? Why can't I just be like her? What's wrong with me? Why can't I stay diligent with this? Why can't I just lose this weight? Why can't I be a smaller size? I even hated how tall I am. I'm not super tall, I'm like 5'7", but I was always way bigger than any of the girls in my class, and so it always felt like I was just this giant, and these girls were so like little and petite and pretty. I didn't realize and didn't think that just because I'm a different size or just because I'm a different height doesn't mean that I'm also not beautiful. Especially with struggling with comparison and comparing myself to like, why can't I be like her? Why can't I look like her? I think a lot of it boils down to just because someone else is beautiful and pretty doesn't mean you're not. And I wish I had paid attention to that and realized that when I was younger, because I think that would have saved me a lot of heartbreak and a lot of unneeded envy and jealousy geared towards other girls when they didn't do anything, they didn't say anything. I was just so upset and so disgusted and angry with myself that anyone else who was confident, I just like really really got like irked me, and I really just like almost angry with them. I carried that for a very, very long time. That part of it, I really feel like I have grown from and healed from. I feel like I spent a lot of time in a very angry and a very envious and a very hateful kind of place, and I started seeking like outside validation from that led to some really bad relationships, some really bad choices where I just got in positions to where I felt so worthless because I just let that voice seep in, and it if when you let it in, it just continues to fester. It doesn't ever stop. It's only going to get worse. So really changing the way that I mentally talk to myself and look at myself has been something that has been very helpful for me. But I just want you to know that if you're feeling those feelings, you're not alone. You're not the first person to feel this. And I promise you it gets better. And I promise you that when you do that work to look at yourself and really think about, like, okay, why am I feeling this? What's going on here? Every aspect of your life is going to get better. Okay, number 2. And I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Not everyone is going to like you. That was a really hard pill for me to swallow and something really hard for me to understand, especially as I got older and like into high school and college. I didn't understand that. It took me a long time to realize that people are going to talk behind your back, girls are going to be mean, people who you thought were your friends are going to show you that they're not. And that hurts and it sucks, especially when you've trusted somebody and poured your heart out to somebody, and then you turn around and find out that none of that was true and it was very disingenuous. It sucks. It's gonna happen and it's okay. It's really hard to lose those friendships too. Sometimes you need to not put those energy into that friendship anymore. I'm not just talking about people who turn out to not be good, but friendships that were really, really good until they weren't. It's okay to let people that you've known for years not be in your life anymore, because when they reveal and show to you maybe some true intentions, maybe their intentions with you have changed, because that can happen too. It's okay to step back from that and let that go. Just know that you've grown your 2 separate paths, and that's okay, and that happens. This is still so hard for me, but when I say that not everyone's going to like you, I think something that goes into that too is you have to stop acting and performing for approval. I am such a deep people pleaser, something within me that I just desperately need the approval of others. It is really difficult to take a look at yourself and think, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this because I know others want me to do that? That is really hard to evaluate, and what that takes is it takes knowing yourself, and it takes spending time to learn what you really enjoy, what you don't enjoy, and that kind of thing. And that can be hard when you're struggling with self-hate and self-love in those relationships, that you just want someone else to tell you how to feel, how to look, what to do. Because then, I think anyway, in my experience, at that point, oh, well, it's not really me. It's this person wanted me to do this. So if that gets rejected, it's not me being rejected. It's what this person thinks I am. Or if that makes any sense at all. I still really struggle with this. I am so much better than before. And that's come with setting boundaries and saying no. It's also come with really taking a look at myself and deciding I'm going to continue like living in hatred towards myself. Overall, when it comes to people talking about you, losing friendships, seeking others' approval, talking behind your back, I think one of the most important things to remember is how do those people that you're around make you feel when you've left? Are you drained from being around them? Or are you excited and uplifted? And I don't just mean like an introvert, extrovert kind of thing. I mean like, are you emotionally drained? Are you mentally drained? Or are you uplifted and excited? And I think that's a very good key to help gauge what relationships are good and genuine and help you grow versus what relationships are maybe holding you back. And the second thing is that the right people to have in your life are never going to ask you to shrink or make you shrink into yourself. They're going to help you bloom and blossom and be your true, authentic self. This one is so embarrassing, but it's so true. Boys are not validation. They're just not. They're their own person, they're their own being. They are not your self worth and they are not your validation. When I was in high school, especially, I felt like the best way to prove to everyone else that I was pretty, that I was worth being talked to, I was popular, whatever you want to call it, was by having all of these guys flirt with me. That was done through Snapchat, that was done through baseball games, soccer games, football games, you name it. I poured so much energy into trying to attract and get the most attention from boys. I was probably really insufferable, to be honest. I was probably the worst person to be around. That was like what I was constantly thinking about, and constantly on my mind was get these guys' attention, but not only that, but how can I show other people that I've got these guys' attention? You know what I mean? And if I'm the only one that's done this, that's really embarrassing, but I'm being very honest and vulnerable with you. That attention and the flirtation and the validation, it is addictive. And I could not get enough of it. I was constantly seeking out, constantly looking for different sources of that. Not only is that not good or healthy or right, but it's going to very quickly backfire. Whether they intend to do that or not, whenever you're putting that kind of power in somebody else's hand who may not truly care for you, who doesn't truly want the best for you, it's very dangerous for yourself. Absolutely tied my self-worth to what different guys thought of me, what I thought different people were thinking about me based on what guy I was with or who I was talking to, who I was flirting with, how many DMs I was getting, how many comments I was getting from these guys. Cannot tie your self-worth to somebody else. Those are my thoughts for now. I'm thinking about making this a little series because I have a lot that I need to say to my younger self. So if you're a teenager, a young girl, someone in their 20s watching this, I hope that you can learn these things sooner than I did. Or maybe this is just a good reminder for you too. Okay, that's it for now. Love you!